Hi there, my name's Felicity, and I'm 37 years old. Let me tell you about an experience I had and how I quickly dealt with it because I don't let people take advantage of me. Unlike many stories I've read here, I actually had a good relationship with my mother-in-law before everything fell apart. Yes, it's surprising, I know. We got along great, and our relationship was smooth and filled with warmth, perfection, and mutual respect. As for my husband Frank, he was the love of my life, my best friend, and my partner in everything. To me, everything seemed perfect. I'm not being naive or ignoring any red flags. Sure, we had our arguments like any normal family, but in the end, everything was fine, and there was no sign of any problems. So, you can imagine how shocked I was when this crazy story happened. Maybe someone can help me figure out what went wrong because to this day, I still don't know. Let me tell you what happened and why I decided to take revenge on my husband and mother-in-law for what they did to me. I had planned something special for our family. It was supposed to be a vacation for just my husband and me, but I thought about Tiana, my mother-in-law, who had been widowed for 4 years and must have felt lonely. So, I decided to include her in the vacation plans. I mainly pay for everything, accommodation, meals, and activities, while my husband and Tiana covered whatever else they wanted. But essentially, I was paying for everything. I wanted to treat Tiana and Frank to a once-in-a-lifetime vacation in Spain. The thought of strolling through the vibrant streets of Barcelona, enjoying delicious tapas, and basking in the Mediterranean sun filled me with joy. I thought it would be a wonderful opportunity to create lasting memories and deepen our bond. When I presented the idea to them, they loved it too. I meticulously planned every detail of the trip, from the charming boutique hotel overlooking the stunning coastline to the exciting flamenco dance performance we would attend together. The excitement was palpable, and I couldn't wait to surprise Tiana and Frank with this grand adventure. Little did I know that the events awaiting me would shake my trust and shatter the illusion of our perfect little bubble. I was about to embark on a journey that would forever change my perception of family loyalty and the depths of human deception. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Allow me to take you back to that fateful day when our dreams of Spain were still full of hope and promise. I stood in the living room, holding the plane tickets tightly in my hands, a big smile on my face. Frank, Tiana, gather round. I have a surprise for both of you. They exchanged puzzled glances, curiosity written on their faces. Tiana, with her wise eyes, tilted her head slightly. What's all this excitement about, my dear? With a flourish, I revealed the tickets and shared my plans for the Spanish adventure awaiting us. I watched their expressions closely, hoping to see joy and gratitude in their eyes. Frank's face lit up, his eyes sparkling with anticipation. Felicity, you truly are something else. I can't wait for this incredible trip. Tiana wore a softer smile, her gaze meeting mine. Oh, my sweet Felicity, you've truly outdone yourself. This is a gift beyond measure. I'm deeply touched. At that moment, my heart swelled with pride and contentment. Their reactions validated the love and effort I had poured into this surprise. I thought this vacation would be the glue that bound us even tighter, creating unforgettable memories and strengthening the bonds that already seemed unbreakable. But as you might have suspected, this story takes a dark turn. Beneath the surface of our seemingly perfect relationship, a web of deceit and betrayal was waiting to catch us. When the truth came out, it tested the limits of forgiveness and family bonds. We boarded the plane for our 2-week adventure with high hopes. The first week was magical. We enjoyed paella, explored historic landmarks, and danced to flamenco music. Laughter and joy filled the air, and I believed our bond was unbreakable. However, a storm was brewing. On a sunny Monday morning, I woke up to an empty hotel room. Confusion and unease gripped my heart. I frantically called my husband and Tiana, but their phones were silent. There were no notes, bags, or signs of struggle, just an unsettling silence. It felt like I had booked this trip for myself alone. Minutes felt like hours as questions flooded my mind. Had they gotten lost? Had something happened to them? But the lack of evidence suggested otherwise. A chill ran down my spine as I reluctantly accepted the truth. I was left alone in a foreign land. Just as despair threatened to consume me, my phone buzzed with an incoming call. It was Tiana. Relief washed over me, mixed with confusion and hurt. How could she leave without a word? With trepidation, I answered the call. Tiana, where are you? What happened? Her voice, tinged with resignation and frustration, didn't sound like the sweet lady I knew. It was colder. Felicity, I thought I should at least call since you kept blowing up my phone. Sorry for disturbing you. I was just wondering where you two went. Your bags aren't here. I was concerned something bad happened. Her next words, said with chilling indifference, shook me to the core. We left you. But why? What happened? I'm sorry, but I couldn't bear to spend another week in your company, so I had to leave. What are you talking about? Did I do something wrong? Yes, I mean, how could you be so dense? Dense? Excuse me. You sprung this trip on me, practically forcing me to go with you. I just couldn't remain disingenuous any longer. Let me be clear, Felicity. I don't enjoy your company. Sure, we can spend a couple of hours together at family events, but 2 weeks. I tried to be civil and endure it, but I could only manage 1 week before I lost my mind. I'm sorry, but Frank and I are heading to the airport. We can't be around you any longer. Shock reverberated through me. The revelation struck like lightning, unraveling the trust I had so naively built. How could our bond crumble under unspoken grievances? Questions overwhelmed me. What had I done wrong? What did I do to deserve such harshness? Was there no chance for reconciliation? With confusion and heart-ache, I asked, I didn't know you felt this way, Tiana. And you had no reason to. I always made it seem like things were fine between us. Then why not tell me? Why not sit down and discuss any problems? I can't put my finger on it. You just irk me. That's childish. You can't stand me just because I irk you. Grow up, Tiana. I thought I offended you, but I didn't do anything wrong, did I? Not necessarily, but it doesn't matter. What matters is how I feel about you, and I find you annoying. Then why agree to come on this trip? It was a free trip to Spain. No one would turn that down. But as the days went by, I grew tired of your antics. What antics, Tiana? What did I do that was so bad you had to leave me alone in a foreign country? She had no answers, and my impatience grew. I was shocked, hurt, confused, and angry. But most of all, I was sad. I needed to know what my husband, Frank, had to say about all this. Let me speak to Frank. Casually, Tiana passed the phone to Frank, who had likely been listening the whole time. He sounded just as indifferent and cold as his mother. Hello, really, Frank? You decided to leave me too. I didn't leave you because I don't like you. I left because my mom needed me to take her home. So you knew about all of this? Well, yes. How long have you known about your mother's apparent hatred toward me? For some time now. I was hoping this trip would bring her closer to you, but I was wrong. Okay, but what I'm failing to understand is why none of you approached me about this. We're all adults, aren't we? If there's an issue, we solve it. It's not like we haven't had arguments in the past. We sat down and solved them. What's different this time? Frank, like his mother moments ago, failed to answer. The only thing I can conclude is that your mother hates me for a silly reason she knows isn't valid. Maybe she's jealous or something. Maybe I have something she can't have, and she knows she can't speak up about it without sounding foolish, so she's beating around the bush. Am I right? Their resounding silence confirmed my suspicion. I'm honestly shocked. I didn't know you two felt this way about me. I hope you have a safe flight home. I cut the call, pacing around the hotel room, still trying to wrap my head around what exactly the issue was. I stopped wondering what I did to deserve this treatment. 47 years on this planet had taught me that sometimes people hate you for seemingly no good reason. They're jealous or bitter because they see you at peace with yourself, and that enrages them because they struggle with their self-worth. I'm sure I'm not the only one who's experienced this, but the last people I expected this behavior from were my own family. After sobbing for some time, I had an epiphany. Let me take you back to that fateful moment when I decided to take control of my destiny and seek revenge against these two who had wronged me for no good reason. It was a pivotal moment that would forever change the course of my life. As I wiped away my tears, a newfound determination welled up within me. I refused to waste any more emotions on their pathetic actions. No, it was time to show them they couldn't trample over my heart and get away with it. With trembling fingers, I dialed the number of my childhood friend, Arlo. We had been through thick and thin together, and I knew I could trust him with my darkest secrets. After pouring out my heart to him and explaining the painful betrayal I had experienced in Spain, I cautiously asked if he could assist me in my quest for justice. Arlo, always the loyal and mischievous friend, listened intently, his voice filled with a mix of concern and excitement, reassuring me that he had my back. Felicity, my dear friend, you're a force to be reckoned with, and you know you can count on me for anything. So what are you planning to do? Well, Arlo, you know how your construction company always has excess sawdust. Yes, it can be quite a hassle to get rid of sometimes. Well, I think I finally have the perfect use for it. His curiosity was piqued, and my plan tumbled out like a carefully crafted script, describing how we would orchestrate the ultimate act of retaliation. My plan involved delivering bags of sawdust to Tiana's house, infiltrating every corner and crevice, and leaving an indelible mark of chaos and betrayal. Arlo couldn't help but smile at the brilliance of my idea. It was a subtle yet impactful way to remind Tiana of the stress she had unleashed upon my life. Armed with Arlo's expertise and my newfound determination, we set our plan into motion. But how will we get inside the house before they arrive back home? You need to get the spare key hidden under the potted plant on the patio. Then you'll be in. Wow, you thought of everything, huh? I'm not one to be played with. I think I'm reasonable, but if they want to act childish, I'll go even lower. Atta girl. As the hours ticked by, anticipation swirled within me. Arlo assured me the mission was complete, and soon I would witness the fallout of our carefully orchestrated chaos. Then, like a sweet melody in my ear, my phone chimed with a message from Arlo. I eagerly opened the pictures he had sent, and there it was, a sight to behold. Tiana's once pristine home now resembled a post-apocalyptic wasteland, drowned in a sea of sawdust. Every nook and cranny had been touched by our mischievous hands. It was a scene straight out of a surrealistic painting, an embodiment of the chaos that had unfolded in our lives. I called Arlo, and his laughter echoed through the phone. I couldn't help but join in. It was a cathartic release, a shared moment of triumph against those who had betrayed me. I expressed my heartfelt gratitude to Arlo, acknowledging his willingness to tread the path of mischief with me. He simply said, "Naughty can be so satisfying." As the clock ticked away, I could feel the tension building within me. How would Frank and Tiana react when they walked through the doors of their once beloved home? The anticipation was almost unbearable, a heady mix of nerves and vindication. I couldn't help but relish the thought of their bewildered faces and disarrayed emotions. Hours later, my phone erupted with frantic energy. It was Frank, his voice laced with panic and disbelief. He described the scene that awaited them, the sawdust-covered house that stood as a testament to their betrayal. My heart danced with wicked delight as I listened to his exasperated voice. At that moment, I knew the message had been received loud and clear. Their actions had consequences, and the chaos they had sown had come back to haunt them. Frank's panicked words were like sweet music to my ears, a validation of the power I had reclaimed. "Felicity, it's just awful. Mom is in hysterics." I decided to reveal the part I had played in this. "It serves both of you right. How could you leave me here alone without a valid reason?" "Wait, Felicity, was this your doing?" The wailing and panic I heard in the background stopped. Suddenly, I heard my mother-in-law say, "Give me that," before shouting in my ear, "Did you do this? How could you do this to us?" "I have no idea what you're talking about. Have you considered that this is just your karma?" "Oh, come on, Felicity, we all knew it was you. Who else would have access to my home?" It's very easy to break into someone's home nowadays, Tiana, especially if you don't have any security cameras installed. Which, by the way, you should seriously consider doing to prevent things like this from happening again. Honestly, Felicity, how can you do this to us? Where are we supposed to sleep? This sawdust is making my lungs ache. Oh, that's right, you probably forgot to get the keys to my house, huh? Well, that's a shame. I'm guessing you two are going to have to stay in yet another hotel. But for how long? Until I decide to come back from my vacation, I guess. I mean, I pay for 2 weeks, and who knows, I might feel greedy and decide to extend my stay. Frank then took the phone from Tiana as she began to bawl once again, mourning her ruined furniture. "Felicity, this was foul. How could you do this? I don't know why you're assuming I had anything to do with this. How could I? I'm currently relaxing in the hotel jacuzzi." I held back my laughter as the two of them were clearly confused about what had happened. Even though they suspected I had something to do with it, which I obviously did, they didn't have any solid proof. So I basked in the glory of knowing they were frustrated with nowhere to direct their anger. As I bid Frank farewell on the phone, a sense of contentment washed over me. I had taken control of my narrative, leaving them to grapple with the consequences of their actions. I know what I did was quite foul and even dangerous, considering how old Tiana is. Spending even one night in that house could lead to serious health consequences. but I knew they wouldn't dare dream of staying there. It was too savage to be habitable. They just had to rely on staying in a hotel a little longer. Because I didn't want my money to go to waste, I stayed that extra week in Spain, enjoying the culture as I intended. Meanwhile, my husband and mother-in-law were undoubtedly worried, trying to find a cleaning company to take on such a daunting task. I didn't know how long it would take to get the house professionally cleaned, but I knew that in the meantime, my mother-in-law would have to stay with us in my home, and I knew she would just be irritated the whole time since she apparently couldn't stand my company. This should serve as a reminder to all of you. Some people need to learn the hard way. If you can dish out your own justice, then by all means go ahead and do it. Really give people something to be mad about.